Hey, what is happening and what is up? Hold out your glass because you know what time it is. I'm going to fill it up, okay? Hey, some of you may know that I have been writing a book called The Epic of Esau, and I jump into these supernatural garments from the Garden of God. And I don't know if you listen to any of my lectures or not, but I make a lot of correlations with other mythology and customs and histories of other nations, peoples, and of different time periods. And my theory of the garments from the Garden of God is that Adam's coverings was the priestly ephod and robes from the Hasatan himself. Ezekiel 28 is a great description. It says, "You were in the garden of God, every precious stone was your covering." And it names the 9 of the 12 stones of the priestly ephod. It says that he was cast from the mountain of God as a profane thing, and that he profaned his sanctuaries. Okay? Now, if we go back and we look at the movie Noah in 2014, the writers of this film had insight of my theory, and it just totally blew my mind. Remember how the story starts out, right? It shows Adam and Eve as these light beings. They're in the garden of God. Here comes this serpent. But if you paid attention, this serpent sheds his skin and leaves behind a golden skin. And it shows Adam reach down and grab it. I think this is allegorically talking about those garments from the Garden of God. Literally, in that sense, the Nakash's skin, his covering. And it was the sign of priesthood and authority. But it doesn't stop there. It shows these skins getting passed down the family line. Check some of this out.
He made Adam in his image and placed the world in his care. That birthright was passed down to us. To my father, and to me, and to my sons. Shem, Japheth, and Ham. That birthright is now passed to you, our grandchildren. This will be your work and your responsibility. So I say to you, be fruitful and multiply.
Then we see this guy, King Og, wound up with them. And you see them several times in this film, and they glow, and it's golden. And once again, on Og, it is the symbol of authority. Well, then the rains come, but Og ends up making his way onto the ship, and Ham discovers him. And if you remember in that film, they become friends. He starts sneaking him food down there. But then Ham gets his eyes on this serpent covering. Remember, Og tells him, that he's not a man yet, that he is not ready for the garments or this skin covering, because he caught Ham eyeballing it and that he wanted it. This goes right along with my theory in my book that Ham, when he uncovered his father's nakedness, when you go to Leviticus 17, it says plainly there, to uncover thy father's nakedness is to sleep with thy father's wife. And this was an act of rebellion in the ancient world. Reuben slept with his mother. Absalom, when he run David out of the kingdom, first thing he done is he pitched a tent on David's house and went into all of his concubines in the sight of all of Israel. This was a rebellious act. It says that Noah became drunk and passed out in the nude. He was like he was in a depression. Even in that film, it depicts it very well. He was depressed. Everything had just died. He was the only survivor, him and his family. So he slipped into a depression. So once again, this film follows the line perfectly. Well, on the film, though, let me backtrack. Noah and Og get into a fight. Ham hides. He doesn't know who he wants to help. And this was a decision between good and evil for Ham in this film. And what happens? Ham sneaks up, stabs Og, and kills him. But before Og dies, he turns around and looks Ham straight in the eye. And he says, "Now you're a man." And he hands him this bag that contains that serpent skin. Well, then we go to the uncovering thy father's nakedness. In the film, it shows him in this cave. He's drinking, passing out drunk. Ham walks up and sees him, and he's fiddling with this bag. And he's so disappointed, he throws the bag down. Then later in the film, it shows like a christening of the two newest additions of the family, these babies. And it shows Noah twisting this serpent skin around his hands, and it's glowing. And what does he say? He said it was the birthright of Adam. He was given dominion over earth. And then he gave the blessing and said, "Be fruitful and multiply." And he took this snake skin and touched the babies and gave them the blessing. I talk about this in the book, and I find it amazing that it was like hiding in plain sight in this film. I thought this film was terrible. Had the stone giants helping Noah build the ark, and I was just like, man, this is so blasphemous and so wrong. But now that I've studied more, I know whoever wrote this looked into the Midrash, looked into the book of Jasher and some of these other books, and pieced together the same thing that I have now pieced together. It's just mind-blowing. So to me, if the ancient texts say it, and you see it again right in front of your face, hiding in plain sight in some of these films, that's what they done in ancient times with the mythos. It's pretty mind-blowing. So I just wanted to do a quick little video, tell you about that, and show you the examples from the film. Till next time, guys, torches high.